Hey, Evan from Bunkie Co here. I'm inside the base camp Bunkie at the Cottage Life Show with our good partner.
I am Karl from CR Systems, and yeah, we're hanging out in this pretty sweet bunkie today.
Yeah.
And we're the cladding supplier for the outside of the bunkies, all the steel you see, the exterior.
Yeah. So Karl's a company and products probably one of the biggest visual and functional components of our kit. So I wanted to invite him here to show him around and also have a little fun and ask a few questions and see what kind of answers I get.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, my pleasure. We could talk turkey a little bit after, but I figured I'd ask you a couple of questions. The first question is, what's your favorite thing about working with the Bunkie Co?
So yeah, a lot of things. Firstly, I like the people.
Yes.
Yeah. So I really, really enjoy working with you and Jim. I know Jim and you probably the best. Both very passionate, like very, very different as well in good ways. I feel like you guys complement each other, and it's been really cool getting to know you guys and work with you guys. And I feel like a lot of our values line up, and that's why it's been such a nice. That's why we really connect with you guys. We have a lot of the same values on quality, design, aesthetics. Has to work, also has to look nice and be reproducible and kind of all work together with like this whole thing's like a piece of furniture. So
Right.
so yeah, just you and your personalities and your sort of passions for design and building.
Cool.
Really,
Yeah,
really,
we
really
share that
cool.
for sure. That's something that we kind of aligned on like 10 years ago when we first started. So it still rings true today, which
Yeah.
is awesome. Which is exactly what you want in a partner of sorts, supplier, being such a huge part of the product that you provide. So, speaking of the 10 years, I mean, it's been a while, and we met. You were a younger man. I was a younger man.
We're all younger.
I was just curious, like when we first started, what was one of the most difficult hurdles that we had to achieve creating the system? Because this is a little uncommon for you. Like you fully form this thing at your shop, create it,
Yeah.
and it's got to show up on our site and fit. And we bring our end by doing the CNC frame, so the tolerances are much tighter than traditional. But when you first started the R&D process, what do you remember was like one of the most challenging things you had to overcome?
Yeah, I remember thinking, so when you guys first contacted us, it came through a fax.
Oh yeah.
Like Jim sent us
It
a
was a
fax.
fax.
Came through an email.
Yeah.
And I was just like, who is this guy?
I miss faxes.
Yeah, oh, it was awesome.
So simple.
So we got the fax and I think it went to Hans actually.
Your dad?
Yeah, my dad. And so he sent it my way, and I was looking. I was like, well, let's reach out to these guys. It sounds pretty cool. So we talked to you guys, and I remember being so like really skeptical at first about the kind of like whole idea of prefab, and you guys were saying it's all CNC, and I'm like, there's no way it's going to be that close, that accurate that we can prefab it. And lo and behold, you guys built one in your shop, and I came out there. I remember some of the first ones. We actually built it in the shop. Came out there, I measured it like I would any other project that we would do, and we made all the parts, and it was really good.
Yeah.
So that was probably just me believing it first was the biggest challenge.
Oh wow. Okay.
Just not understanding it fully, and then once we built confidence in that, it was just getting a system together that could. There's just a lot of different ways we had to think that we hadn't thought before. It was a good challenge where we had to have a product that lasted a long time, that we could make, reproduce consistently, and package in a way that we could ship it to like Australia.
Yeah, we did send one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had to that's a lot of logistics that we hadn't had to thought about before.
So packaging was a big challenge,
Huge.
and even just getting your mindset around it, and then just the initial R&D, physically doing things, and then. But since then, it's run relatively smoothly. I mean, nothing is ever perfect, but pretty darn smoothly. Our methodology works. So out of the models, which is your favorite one to make, or is it the easiest or the least hassle, or which one do you prefer?
I kind of look. Probably the funnest one to make, as far as like from a technical perspective, is probably a Voss or a Monarch.
Yeah,
because the panels go up and they're one piece, and it's just really cool. It's there's really neat techniques we get to use, and and you have these panels that are pre-bent and they're in a crate. It looks pretty neat when it's all packaged and ready to go as well.
We'll show like a video of this or like a picture of this, but the wall and the roof are one massive piece of metal. Like no other metal companies that we talked to were able to do that, and that was something that improves the visual of the product and also improves like the weather durability over time, because you have less gaps and potential areas for the water to breach in. So these guys are able to do that kind of thing, and the way that they have to create it, it's no small task. And these are all those little details that make up the bigger part of what we're bringing into the market. So, like, I don't know anyone else who would do that. So the Voss, okay, gable style roof. That's definitely a cool one. And then what? Do you remember what the most difficult one was?
The Premier.
Yeah. Which we don't sell many of.
I would say the Premier was by far the most difficult.
So that's the one with the chimney detail built in that we really launched the company on. It's kind of like your concept car where you create something incredibly appealing and interesting and showcase some engineering and some design unique characteristics, but then ultimately you have the product that functions more easily and is easier to produce. It doesn't lose everything aesthetically, but that was a challenge. So what we do going forward is we sell it like, well, if you buy this one, you have to bring the metal guy in, because we literally have to have some additional, because it's so tricky to have all the details on that roof and that chimney. It works. We've got a couple of them that are built and that function. But that was a real challenge. What's your favorite color?
My favorite color?
Because there's like 12 colors.
So there's a little bias. So in my industry, we deal a lot with colors. So it's like when I think of favorite color, I'm like, well, it's the most popular one. But that's not true. It's not the most popular. It's my favorite.
What's your favorite? This is all about you.
Favorite. Hands down, green.
Green? Melcher's green.
Yeah.
Whenever we post pictures of that online, we get like the most people liking it. So that must say something. It's kind of an interesting thing. My favorite one, I like that, but my favorite is the Huron blue.
Oh, that's cool.
Like really vibrant blue. It really catches the light in the sky. Like the sky, it's awesome. I love the colors. We sell a ton of black like that. I know you've done some videos recently I've watched about how popular that is across many architectural projects that you're doing. But I love the colors. They're fun. We did do one that's like that fire engine red, which is pretty cool. I did 2 of them. But in terms of durability, they're all the same. In terms of the alloys. So and maybe as a final thing, like tell us a little bit about your company and about the product and what you're up to.
So we're a family-run, operated business. Started in 1974 by my father. I got involved when I was very young.
I even remember when you were pretty young when I first saw you.
10 years ago.
That's 10 years ago.
And then I had started about 10 years prior to that.
Wow, nice.
So I've been at it for about 20 years. So we manufacture architectural sheet metal, so roofs, walls, soffits, fascias, and on design focus builds.
Nice. And that's about the most of it, and I have nothing but praise and appreciation for everything that you guys do. Make us look good.
Thank you.
And always supporting us no matter what, getting things to site and helping with builds and transportation. So thanks so much for coming.
Appreciate
it's always a pleasure.
CR
Systems, check them out. We'll tag them on the post as well coming up. If you don't already know, they're the greatest. Thanks, Karl.
Thanks, Evan.
Yeah.